Manipulation is an easy task we all seem to possess. We are all capable of cleverly influencing someone. A young girl in Africa, for the sake of privacy we will call her Sarabi, experienced just this. A man had offered her a well-paying dream job away from home. He proposed to pay for all expenses, a passport, transporting fees, housing and food, and even providing a SIM card only for them to communicate on. And he had discouraged her from telling her parents about the deal they had.
This was the whole works. Who wouldn't take up the offer? She began her trip in Uganda, then Tanzania, and the last stop was in Zambia. There they met up, but the proposal for a job turned into a proposal for her hand. Somehow Sarabi was able to escape becoming another modern slave, and one out of the estimated 20.9 million victims of human trafficking, stated by the International Labor Organization.
There are various forms of trafficking, including child soldiering, labor trafficking, and domestication, or male-ordered brides. All of them incorporate a victim subjecting a higher power to manipulation and vulnerability. Children and adults are induced into commercial sex, performed labor services through force, fraud. United Nations stated that human trafficking is ranked third for the greatest revenge source of organizations crime after narcotics and arms. Human trafficking is wrong. It should not be your responsibility for making much money. It happens to be growing globally.
In just the United States alone, National Human Trafficking Resource Center had received 9,298 unique cases of human trafficking within the first 5 years of using a hotline operator. Those numbers are shocking, but to think they occur around the world is a haunting thought, successfully affecting 161 countries internationally.
The global matter of human trafficking is driven by the desire of revenue and low risk of being brought to justice, then can be changed. Trafficking is continuing to affect a vast number of countries worldwide, resulting in loss of victims' freedom to their lives. The offenders have mastered their skill, manipulating and have extreme amounts of determination and ability them to successfully get all they want.
This industry has accounted for $31.6 billion in 2010 alone. Why should we allow an illegal and immoral industry to obtain more money than the majority of countries own worldwide? Especially when the money earned will only be used to continue this vicious cycle.
More jobs in small poverty-struck towns will supply ways for men and women to earn money so that they aren't left with human trafficking as a way to support themselves or their families. The availability of jobs could have prevented the numerous people like Sarabi from being cheated into this cycle. Nearly half of the U.S. states have laws to enforce posting a hotline operation number in common places, such as a workplace.
PolarisProject.org gives viewers access to flyers, hotlines, and contact lists that spread awareness and can send help to those in danger. Raising awareness to these hotlines can help decrease the number of annual cases.
Take 13-year-old Natalia as an example. She was told by her parents she was moving to the U.S. with family friends who would allow her to receive an education and learn English.
Born and raised in a small village in Ghana, Natalia's family was struggling to pay the school fees for their children's education and welcomed the opportunity for Natalia to receive an education in the United States.
Shortly after Natalia arrived in the U.S., the foster father she was living with began to physically and sexually abuse her, creating a constant environment of fear. For the next 6 years, she was forced to clean the house, wash clothes, cook, and care for 3 children, often working 18 hours a day while receiving no form of pay. She was never allowed to go outside, use the phone, or enroll in a school as the family had promised.
One day, after she had been severely beaten, Natalia saw an opportunity to run away from home, and a current neighbor had called the police. She was then taken to a local hospital for medical care. The nurse assisting Natalia was aware of the National Human Trafficking Resource Center and referred her to the Polaris, New Jersey team.
Because of the nurse's knowledge of the Polish hotline, Natalia was able to get immediate coordination connection with emergency services for clothing, safe shelter, counseling, and emotional support in case of management.
Within a month, Natalia was enrolled in school, pursuing her education to become a nurse, living in a transitional house, and beginning to feel like herself again. Natalia is one of the many examples of the reliance and courage of survivors who have redefined their future and are working towards achieving long-term goals.
Too many people are ignorant to the fact that human trafficking exists everywhere. It's necessary that we raise awareness to the issue and encourage people to report using hotlines, contacting authorities, to provide a way that victims have their freedom in their hands.
Technology is shaping our world and giving us all opportunities to help others.
Notifying your followers about what you just ate for breakfast is just as easy as spreading the word about global injustice. Instead, use this as your manipulation.